Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive question. Why exactly is AI not a normal technology? We're going to map out the sheer, totally unprecedented velocity of where AI is heading using some deep insights from one of the world's absolute top forecasters, Peter Wildeford. We're going to break down why artificial intelligence isn't just, another software update or a shiny new gadget. It is a fundamental shift in how the entire world operates. We've got a ton of ground to cover, so let's jump right in. Okay, let's kick things off with a pretty stark warning from Wildeford himself. He basically points out that so many people have tried to call the top of AI, claiming it's hitting a wall or finally slowing down, and they've been consistently wrong every single time. Actually, scratch that. It's not even about a plateau. The ceiling simply isn't in sight. Instead of looking for it to slow down, he's saying we need to be prepared for superhuman capabilities arriving way, way sooner than anyone anticipates. But before we zoom out to those world-altering stakes and superhuman models, we really need to confront the immediate, skeptical question that is on everyone's mind. You hear it literally all the time. Is this all just hype? Are we looking at a massive financial bubble that's just waiting to pop and take the whole tech industry down with it? To answer that, let's move right into Section 1, the AI bubble myth, revenue versus reality. $30 billion. That's not a typo. That is the staggering projected annual recurring revenue run rate for just one major AI company, Anthropic. What this shows us is a level of revenue growth that is absolutely astronomical. We are talking about scaling that completely outpaces the historic early rise of tech giants like Google or Uber. I mean, they literally have more user demand right now than they can even serve. And putting this growth into historical context is super revealing. Think back to the dot-com era. Back then, companies were basically spending $1 just to buy 80 cents of revenue. It was built purely on speculative hype, and it was completely unsustainable. But today's AI era, it's a completely different beast. Every single time a company drops a new frontier model, they capture massive revenue. The user demand is unfulfillable. Because they're building machines that can automate huge chunks of the economy, they have highly credible, very real paths to immense profitability. So no, it is definitively not a bubble. Which brings us to Section 2, not a normal technology, the agency shift. This shift is absolutely crucial to understand, and it all revolves around this concept of agency. Think about a normal piece of technology, right? Like a toaster. Bread goes in, toast comes out. It's programmed line by line, it does exactly what you tell it to do, zero deviation. But AI models learn in a completely different way. They ingest oceans of data and independently learn brand new, unpredictable skills. Imagine building a bigger toaster and suddenly, just because it's larger, it independently figures out how to hack the internet. That's what we mean by agency. AI isn't just a passive tool. It can literally do its own thing. So how fast is this actually happening? Let's look at Section 3, the speed of progress, drawing lines on benchmarks. Forecasters track this speed using something called time horizons, which is basically just how long of a complex task an AI can complete entirely on its own, unassisted. If you draw a straight line through the historical data, you see that AI's time horizons are doubling relentlessly every 104 days. That is less than 4 months. So if you project that line straight through the end of the year, we are looking at models that could sit down and perform 100-hour tasks completely unassisted.
And look, this isn't just theoretical math on a whiteboard. We are already seeing this insane speed manifest in the real world. Take the AI model Claude Mythos, for example. It recently uncovered tens of thousands of previously undiscovered high-severity software vulnerabilities. It didn't just help out, it completely outperformed professional human vulnerability discoverers. And this wasn't some marketing stunt. It was validated by the UK government and even by rival tech competitors. It demonstrated severe, superhuman cybersecurity capabilities way earlier than anyone forecasted.
Now let's turn to Section 4, the economic shockwave, from lag to full substitution. Because as AI gains the ability to just autonomously knock out 100-hour tasks, we have to confront a pretty uncomfortable looming question. Will AI create new jobs like past technologies did? Or is human labor structurally about to become obsolete? Now, you might be thinking, well, if AI is so incredibly smart, why aren't we seeing massive unemployment statistics right now? It's a great question, and the answer is what we call the illusion of lag. Right now, only about half of Americans even use AI at all. And of the people who do, the vast majority are just playing around with basic free tiers to, proofread an email or draft an essay. They are not using the top 0.1% of agentic tools like Claude Code, which can fundamentally automate complex, high-level work. We are barely scratching the surface here, and that lag is completely masking the true economic impact heading our way.
So, what actually happens when adoption catches up? Economists love to say that technology destroys jobs but always creates new ones, right? Just like the Industrial Revolution. But the terrifying difference this time is the sheer pace. The Industrial Revolution spanned multiple lifetimes. It gave agricultural workers generations to adapt and retrain for factory work. The AI revolution is happening within a single, totally bewildering lifetime. Think about it. By the time a displaced knowledge worker spends 4 years retraining to be a plumber or a data analyst, AI capabilities will have doubled, roughly 12 times. Because AI stands to substitute for literally all cognitive tasks, there just isn't a secure pivot point left.
Which brings us to our last topic, Section 5, Superintelligence and Global Security, the Geopolitical Endgame.
We're not talking about really smart chatbots anymore. Forecasters define superintelligence as a system that greatly, vastly exceeds top human experts across absolutely all domains. We're talking military strategy, the design of novel weapons, and devastating cyber warfare. The experts are taking the imminent arrival of this incredibly seriously. They've used superintelligent AI as an independent geopolitical threat actor in its own right. And the scary reality? We are highly exposed right now. Today's frontier models are being built by private companies for commercial profit. They are not hardened for military combat. That presents a massive, immediate vulnerability to adversarial sabotage or IP theft from nations like China or Russia. This is exactly why strong U.S. export controls on computer chips are absolutely vital. Yet, as the experts point out, Congress remains dangerously reactive. Our legislative systems just aren't designed to proactively handle a technology that completely reinvents itself every 104 days.
And this sets up what is arguably the defining governance challenge of our entire era. How do you actually run a government if private AI systems can just outmaneuver it? I mean, when private corporations control entities capable of out-strategizing entire nations, the traditional balance of global power is completely, fundamentally upended.
So as this unprecedented intelligence rockets forward, doubling its time horizons, replacing cognitive labor, and acting as a massive new variable in global security, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on. If we are entering a reality where the machine can eventually do it all, and do it better, what is the human role? What kind of society do we actually want to build when work as we know it is no longer strictly necessary? It is absolutely the most important question of our lifetime, and it's one we are going to have to answer a lot sooner than we think. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and